Welcome to the Chris and Sam podcast. Pull up a bar stool and join us for a random conversation, guaranteed to make you think or your money back.
Hey Sam, how you doing?
Hey Chris, I'm going good. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, dude.
2015 is here and
in the house.
So far, so good.
Yeah, and we have finally got the elusive lush monster out of the bushes and into the couch.
Hey guys.
We better explain that's actually a person named Karl who is hard to track down.
Thanks, Sam. I appreciate the intro, Chris, but I prefer to be called Karl Hartley and not the Lush Monster just yet.
That's his gaming name. It's not a name I just made up just to say.
Yeah, you better chuck that out there just in case people think it's a pet name that you do have.
I am on Chris's couch, so maybe.
Aren't we all?
Yeah, what can I say? I'm a social guy.
Yeah, welcome to the awesome podcasting studio that we have set up.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys.
That's all right.
Yeah, so what did you do for New Year's Eve, Sam?
I worked and then I went to sleep.
Yeah, I thought you were working. I think you mentioned that you were working.
So nothing exciting for me at all.
Yeah, so I was with Karl actually and some of our friends, and we had a pretty good night because I was going to have a quiet, old man night and just watch whatever's on TV and go to bed with some beers or something. But no, Karl went out to a friend's place, had dinner and stuff. We played SpaceTeam. Now, did you mention SpaceTeam on the podcast? I don't think you did.
I don't think I have.
No, you mentioned it to me after a podcast.
Yes, because I've had it on my phone for months and months, and I keep forgetting. And then finally, we had a game.
Yeah, it is fun, and so I've played a couple of parties so far.
How did it go down?
Well, it was good and bad with us because there was only 2 Androids in the room, and everybody else had iPhones. And
it works on iPhones.
Oh, is it? Yeah. I thought for some reason you said it didn't.
No, I've got it on the iPad, and I've played it with both the iPad and the.
Okay. Chris is looking at me funny, but I think I knew that as well.
Oh man, I failed.
Can I put a bit of perspective on this?
Yeah, you better.
So Chris is absolutely selling this game.
Hang on, we should explain how the game works. Do you want
Yeah.
Okay, go Chris. You go, Chris.
Oh yeah, so you've got different people. You can't play this one player. You have to play with other people, and they've got to have a phone. 2 to 4 players, and you're in a spaceship basically is the scenario, and instructions come on the screen, and you've got a control panel in front of you, which is like sliders and knobs and buttons and things, and they've all got funny labels on them. And but some of the instructions that come are for you, and some of them are for somebody else, because what they're talking about is not on your control board. So you end up yelling out to somebody else, "Can you grease the F hole?" was one of the ones we had.
Some of the ones I had were really long technical names that were very similar to someone else's control panel.
Yeah.
And you
the
wrong one.
Geodode, idode, and stuff. It's worse when it gets the pictograms, and you're like, the customs officer. And she's like, what customs officer? And then she'd go, the policeman with a laptop. And I'm like, it's a suitcase, you knob. It's a customs officer.
I haven't come across that
yet. Neither have I.
I came across one, when it says Shake Asteroid.
Yeah.
And then tilt, so you have it above your head. That was all good. There was another one, and I can't remember for the life of me what it was. And it was something like, I think you had to yell at the phone, I think, was what they wanted you to do. But I couldn't see my brother-in-law's screen, so I couldn't work out, because he's, I don't have that. And I was like, I don't have it. Right.
So, so anyway, it's good at a party because you got these people yelling at each other.
Looking crazy.
Nuts.
So how did this go down, Karl?
Not well.
Okay, so I'll do it from my perspective first, and then I'll do it from the people spectating's perspective. So my perspective, I'm concentrating to the max, trying to look at the screen, trying to multitask, and Chris is just yelling, grease your F-hole, grease your F-hole. And I'm like, where's my F-hole? Where's my F-hole? And then he starts yelling, shake it, shake it.
And then the next command is rinse your F-hole, which is even worse.
And so I've totally fixated on my phone trying to, and I'm just following commands, And then I look up and there's this audience of everyone else at this party, just like looking at each other, looking really uncomfortable, going, is Chris's phone even on? Is this even a game?
Yeah. Is this just something you guys are doing?
I think I lost some social credit in that, but
which shows you to the level of esteem that my friends have for me.
I think if they're in it, they'll get it.
Yeah,
but if you're spectating it first and not knowing what the game is, it looks crazy.
And when I say a party, there's only, 5 of us there.
It was 6. It was a solid 6 people.
Solid 6.
Yeah, so 3 or 4 people sitting there watching 2 people play. It's not cool.
No, it's very hard. You need to get people involved. So my sister was a bit skeptical about it and played against her, and she was laughing along and having a good time. And then the brother-in-law, he was real skeptical on it. And he was going, oh, this is stupid. But there he is cracking up laughing as he's trying to yell stuff to me. Unfortunately, we got too busy with all the kids and stuff, so we couldn't get all 3 people playing at once.
Yeah, well, I got Carolyn and had a go with Carolyn, and because you both know Carolyn, she's pretty quiet type. She loved it. I didn't expect her to. I was like, let's try this. I just want to see what you think. She goes, computer games, I don't do that Facebook thing. I don't do computer games. I don't do it. And she loved it. It was really funny. But what we did do, which was a big hit on the night, was we played Heads Up. And Heads Up is off the Ellen DeGeneres show, if you've ever seen that.
This is sounding really vaguely familiar.
Yeah, same. I think I heard about it. It must have been quite a while ago, close to a year, I think.
But you're going to have to explain this one to me.
Yeah. So on the Ellen show, if you've seen it, she gets people in interviews, and she does this game with them. She must be raking it in going by last night.
I love it how Chris is looking at me and laughing.
He is.
So last night, Carl's like, you can buy extra decks of cards, and I'll explain what the game is in a second, but you can buy extra decks of cards, and they're like, in-app purchases, and they're about $1 each or something, some of $1.50 or whatever. And because we'd been playing the music through Bluetooth through those speakers through his phone, it was done to the phone, right? And every time he'd buy a new app, you'd hear this ka-ching around the room from these 2 speakers that are on his Bluetooth. And I'm like, I bet in Ellen DeGeneres' mansion, there's a speaker like that. And every time somebody buys one of these apps around the world, it goes ka-ching. And she just walks around all night going ka-ching, 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 ka-ching.
Like one of those jackpot totals at the casino or something. Yeah. And it's like $1 billion and $3 now.
Yeah, because anyway, so what happens is you pick a deck, so like geography, for example.
Yeah.
And you hold it on your forehead. So
you're holding your phone above your head.
Yeah, so everybody else can see it, but you can't. Yeah. And it'll say like the Arc de Triomphe for geography, right? Yeah. So it's famous landmarks and things like that. And everybody's got to try and give you a clue without telling you what it actually is. So I
think Darth Vader's coming in.
That's someone either entering your house or trying to leave.
Somebody's leaving. That's all good. So
felt like casual as.
Yeah.
She didn't know we're down here. She's been sleeping because she got home like midnight last night. We can edit that bit out.
Yeah, with the power of my editing fingers.
All right, so you've got Arc de Triomphe or whatever, and the idea is the crowd gives you the clues without telling you what it is. And this can be amusing, particularly when you mix it with alcohol. And I'm talking about margaritas, punch with lots of tequila, and copious amounts of beer. And the best thing, Sam, that you'll love about this.
Yeah, I'm just looking at it now on the App Store.
While you're doing this, it's filming the people.
And that's the genius of the game.
It's genius. And so that one thing, because we showed you that little clip, it was the movie. It was a movie thing, and it was Psycho. And all of us, 3 of us at one time went, stabbing motion.
That makes so much more sense now that you've explained that to me. I saw this clip and I didn't know what was going on.
It's like the game is like a vine generator. You can get these little 6-second clips that just look awesome.
And some of the things are so
the
funny.
Basic Instinct one was pretty interesting as well.
Carl and I were next to each other on the couch again, funny enough, and we did it was Basic Instinct, and the 2 of us just in sync did the big leg cross.
I just threw up in my mouth just then.
I'm good. Glad you did.
Anyway, it was a great night. So we had fun. Then we went down and talk to the ladies.
How'd that go?
Not well.
The way you said that, I was waiting for some story there.
Where's the payoff, Chris? Where's the payoff?
There's no payoff. There was no. Trust me, there was no payoff. I had a good go though. Anyway, so we were going to talk about. You had an idea of some lists for 2015, like best films of 2015.
Hang on. first, I thought we were talking about the coffee that you guys have managed to.
Yeah, we've already got a worst of list of 2015.
2015 is already man.
Let's not name the
Momento.
Yeah, we won't name Momento in Hamilton. We won't even link to them, actually. I'll put that all on the website. But I don't usually drink hot drinks, so the message from Chris was to Karl, hey, go get some coffee. Karl's like, yeah, sweet as. So we go to Momento, which is open. I said, I'll have a hot chocolate. That's probably the only hot drink I usually drink if I drink something. And, mine tasted like warm milk. And apparently the coffee tasted like... I don't know
what it was, but I couldn't drink it. I couldn't drink it.
Yeah.
I just put it aside.
It tastes like they put the
grindings back in.
The grindings from the leftover grindings that they smack into the bucket and kind of threw some hot water in there, then put in my cup. The sad thing is I'm so addicted to coffee, I'm actually drinking it right now.
Yeah, I can't believe it is, because I love coffee, and I was like, I'm still torn. It's sitting there cooling down now, and I'm like, I can't drink it. It's disgusting.
There was a 50% chance that Chris was going to put hot chili sauce in his coffee to give it a bit of flavour.
Give it a boost.
Yeah, it'd taste better with Tabasco in there, I reckon.
But there was also a journey of actually purchasing these coffees as well, and the hot chocolate. So I reckon, and
so it's public holiday because it's just after New Year's.
And the F-Boss machine breaks, and she's going, "That's all right. I'll just go through offline." I was going, "Oh, wait a sec. I'm pretty sure it needs to be connected for it to work." But anyway, so that takes 5 minutes, and then this whole group of about 8 people turn up and get their second round of beers. I was like, "Whoa!"
And we're talking like 8:30 in the morning.
Yeah, it's like, "Whoa, these guys are pretty hardcore." And then I proceed to wait for 10 minutes, and then get the worst coffees of 2015 given to me.
Hey, it's probably the worst coffees of 2014 as well.
I know. This might be a lifetime achievement, guys.
It's going to be pretty hard to get worse hot chocolate as well.
All right. So anyway, have we done with the bitching? I mean, the year's only just started, we're already bitching.
We can't help it. If they gave us good coffee, we'd be like, oh, this is amazing.
Yeah, we would be.
I love it how you guys just called them out straight away. You guys are awesome.
Hey, it's our podcast. We'll do what we want.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
I've got to take my shoes off.
Right.
Well, I'm in your house, right? So
yeah, no,
I've got to show respect.
Yeah, no, it's all good. So, do we want to do a 2015 best movies list? I think is one of your calls there.
Yeah.
Beforehand.
Yeah, sure.
We'll go around and just say one of your best movies. One of your best movies.
One of the best movies of 2014.
2014. Yeah, sorry.
I'm just going to straight out there and say that Interstellar would be up there on the best of list.
I'm trying to find the thing I read, but for the life of me, I can't find it. But Interstellar is the only top 10 film in 2014 that wasn't a remake, reboot, sequel, or from comics. It was the only original film.
That's exactly what I thought about when I was waiting for my coffee, bro. Honestly. I think I appreciate this movie because it dared to be original. It dared not to be a sequel.
Yeah.
And it dared to care about science enough to do the research to do it right.
That must have freaked them out when they came up with it and said, this is what we want to do. And they're like, but, you could do a reboot of something else.
Yeah. And Nolan goes and just shows his Batmans and they go, okay, do what you want, man.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. It's on my list.
This is at the point when I say I haven't seen it yet.
Full disclosure.
Oh, man. But, okay, so one of the ones for me is a not so well known one, probably, The Purge Anarchy, which is
never heard of it.
I saw the first one.
Yeah, it's the second one of that, and the first one was okay.
Is it a horror?
I saw the first one after the second one. It's a sci-fi thriller type thing, I guess. But yeah, I saw it at the 24-hour movie marathon thing, and yeah, it was awesome. I really, really liked that. How about you, Sam? One movie?
I haven't seen many movies, so I'm just going to go with Guardians of the Galaxy.
That was on my list too. That was definitely on my list, yeah.
So that's definitely on the list.
Yeah, it was on my list.
I cried a single tear when I watched that on Blu-ray, and I looked at my wife who somehow convinced me not to go to this movie, and I said, you owe me so bad. Because
what did you go? You went to Noah instead, eh? Everybody else went on the opening night to Guardians of the Galaxy.
And you went to Noah.
Yeah. I know. Hey guys, at the movies, and everyone's like, Facebooking back, oh, Guardians of the Galaxy came out tonight. I went, no, it didn't. Noah did. And everyone's like, whoa, Karl, what happened?
No, it was pretty good, though.
I know, Noah was good, but it was no Guardians of the Galaxy. No. Honestly, they got the tempo, mood, everything about them. They just nailed them.
I reckon. I really did. It was a fun movie.
Yeah, definitely was.
Yeah.
Well, can I just ask you guys something? When was the last time you saw a movie, like any movie, where the soundtrack actually felt like it had an influence on the actual movie itself? Because it's been a long time since soundtracks actually were like a real big thing. Not counting like musicals.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're right. Guardians of the Galaxy, the soundtrack was really huge on that. It's funny because after I went to Interstellar, one of the guys from London that I catch up with on Facebook and stuff, he had seen it, and he was like, that guy's going to get an award for the music and the scoring.
Nice.
It's just like,
yeah.
And so I went back and listened to it a little bit more the next time, and I was like, oh yeah, no, that's fair call. That was pretty good.
New Year's resolution for Sam: watch Interstellar.
Yeah, totally, dude. You've got to see it.
I will.
Seriously.
I will. I'll get around to that.
Just on a sort of a segue, it's a beautiful segue. There's a book that we all like. I think we all like it because Sam's only just read it, called Ready Player One. Am I right? Did you just read that?
Yeah. I read it a couple of days ago. I read it in a day and a half.
Yeah.
Plowed through it.
Imagine
that as a movie.
Well, actually, that's what I wanted to talk about. It's getting made.
Excellent.
So it has gone through. The script's been written. Zach somebody has been working with Ernest Cline, and they've written the script. It's been finished. There's a few things that obviously they can't quite do the same as in the book, which is fair enough, but it's sounding like it's pretty good, because he said he would run things, because he was quite close with Cline, and he'd run things by him, and he said if Cline said, yeah, no, that'd be awesome, he'd like leave it in, and if he said anything but that'll be awesome, he'd go back to the drawing board and rewrite it. Right. So they got something they're pretty happy about. The biggest things that are holding them back is the licensing of all the games.
Yeah,
if it was a documentary, you could put fair use and just use whatever you like. But because it's an entertainment film, you have to pretty much have licensing for all the games. So it's going to change the story because, well, in small parts, because they're not going to be able to have all the games that they might have in there, you know. So, so that's going to be interesting. And guess who's on the shortlist for being director?
Oh, for director? Old Michael Bay.
No, actually, he wasn't on there that I saw. Yeah. Peter Jackson is, though. And maybe laugh because in the fan comment, somebody's like, this will be a 3-parter. This should be a 3-parter. I'm like, oh my God, is that meaning that he wants Peter Jackson? So I went into that thread, and he wasn't actually talking about Peter Jackson. He was actually saying there's so much content in there that after the copy key was the first part, and then there's another part, which, well, it's in 3 parts in the book anyway.
Yeah, I would say it would probably have to be at least a 2-parter.
Yeah,
because if it's like 2 hours, it'll be hard to cram that, all the backstory in, as well as having a great payoff at the end, without it being freaking 5 hours.
And if you don't have those characters made right in the movie, because to me, that's what's going to dictate the length of the movie, is how long it takes to get those characters embedded, you know, for the audience. But, so that was interesting. And then somebody else was like, oh no, but if they give it to Peter Jackson, it'll be a 6-parter. And somebody else was like, ranting like, no, it should be one, it's only a short book, it should be one movie, just edit it to, you know, the limit sort of thing. But I think you're right. I think it's 3 parts in the book. You could almost just go with those 3 parts.
Let's put it this way, after watching Ender's Game, I felt another kind of book conclusion. I actually felt that there needed to be 2 parts, and it's a pretty short book as well, so I don't know.
Yeah, I've never read the book. I saw the movie, it was pretty cool.
Let's just put it this way, that the time it takes him to ramp up and be awesome takes ages, and in the movie it takes like 10 minutes.
Yeah, but does that make it better? I mean, I'm the first one to criticize Lord of the Rings because of a gazillion things. But I admit that, you know, and The Hobbit has changed the book so much, but The Hobbit is so much better written as a movie. I mean, you couldn't make the book straight into a movie. It would be the most boring movie in the universe. You know, they had to add all that other stuff in there.
Yeah, I get it, and I guess I'm not a filmmaker, so I don't know the conversion, but when I remember the Ender's Game book, the battle scenes in the actual little the school thing is the most fun part of the entire book, and they only spend like 5 minutes on it. In the book, they spend half the book, or a quarter of the book, kind of him ramping up and getting better at strategy. So I kind of miss that.
Yeah. Okay. No, that's a good call. So yeah, so there's and there was one other thing, and I just wanted to see what you guys think, because there's one guy put a post. There's only one person that can play H. Who do you think that would be?
I'm really worried about what you're about to say, Chris.
Yeah, I am, because I wouldn't have picked this, but the guy goes, Benedict Cumberbatch has to be H. And I'm like, he doesn't look like a big African-American woman.
No, that's right.
No. But, I don't know.
Okay, this is my wish list. Don't get any big stars. Use the money for killer effects and kind of everything else, and just discover some talent.
That'd be awesome.
I totally agree. I think you need young guys for the main roles because they're still in school and stuff, right? So yeah, I totally agree. All right. Anyway, that was my segue, or my aside off into the Ready Player One.
Oh yeah, just go and read it or listen to it, guys. I listened to it on audible.com.
Yeah.
Will Wheaton narrates it.
Because that was
Wesley Crusher, amazing.
Yeah. That was so funny because I had been reading it, and Karl was the one that told me to read it, right? And so I'm reading it, and I go back to him one day, and I was partway through it, and I was like, dude, they mentioned Will Wheaton in there, isn't that cool? And he just looks at me funny, and he goes, Will Wheaton narrates the audiobook, and my mind just exploded a little bit.
I remember you guys mentioning this book when we went up to the Telecom One unconference like 2 years ago, and I've got this random note on my Evernote on my phone that was like, I don't know what that is.
Read Ready Player One.
Eventually got around to it, which is good.
Yeah.
So carrying on the movie theme, have you guys seen these photos?
All right, so we're looking at, on the monitor here, a photo from Star Wars, is that?
This is from the new Star Wars film that's coming out at the end of the year. They're using way more practical special effects. There's 5 people inside that thing.
Oh my God, that moves? I thought it was just like a statue.
No, it moves. I want to see it move.
Oh,
and
yeah.
There's all these photos of exters. And
another reason why I love Interstellar is how many physical effects are in it.
Oh, yeah, the guy.
Movie.
That guy hated, Nolan hated doing CGI. And so
cool.
that spaceship exploding,
was it a miniature then?
Yeah, it was a miniature 14-foot tall miniature, like it was huge. And they rigged it with explosives and stuff, when the guy opens the hatch.
Yeah.
Oh, you
I'm just
haven't seen it.
I'm just going to go along with it.
So they rigged it with explosives and stuff. And Nolan was so anal, I think is the word, about getting the right camera shot that he said, I want a camera on there. And they go, well, but it's going to explode. We don't want to kill the camera. And he goes, I don't care.
It dies.
I want the camera on there. So he's got it. They'd rigged it, and I explained in the article, but I can't remember exactly what it was. They rigged it so the camera was on there, and as it exploded, it got a pin got pulled, and it sort of like on a wire, flew up, flying fox camera going backwards off the miniature while it's spinning and exploding, and it's just amazing effect.
Where this all links to Star Wars is I feel like they come full circle, right? So the originals,
yeah,
all miniatures, all practical.
Yeah.
Then we have
the preludes.
Yeah, let's just
with as much CGI as you can cram in with and stomp on and cram in some more
CGI.
Yeah, and then there's the special editions with random bad CGI inserted. It's great to see old JJ coming back to the roots and actually having real stuff.
Oh yeah, totally. And so I got at least one message on New Year's Eve. Happy New Star Wars Year 2015.
Was that from Sash?
Yeah, it was from Sash. Yeah. That's the highlight of the year as far as Sash is concerned.
Wow, there must be there's bound to be a countdown clock somewhere that everyone's staring at.
Search for it, man.
They should
search for it. It'll be there.
Could be a product that could have made
a countdown clock,
and you just adjust it. Like have it all Star Wars themed, and then just adjust it to your local time zone, and it's just going. And you have like Darth Vader or something, or one of the droids just moving.
Hey, wait a sec, Sam. That unconference we went to 2 years ago, it had the guy who managed the website for the prequels.
That's
do.
right. Yeah, that's
He
right.
did. We actually met the guy that made the website with the countdown on it for the last prequels.
That's right.
And he
That's
organised
right.
all the events.
Was that Link?
It was
Yeah,
Link.
it was Link.
Yeah,
Hey,
it's
Link,
Link.
what's up?
Yeah, Link. I'm sure you're listening into the Chris and Sam podcast.
He will now.
Yeah. Total shout-outs.
Yeah, I meant to get back in touch with Link too. He was a cool dude.
Oh, man.
Actually, we've
He basically-
mentioned it a couple of times. So do you want to mention something about this telecom
let's just-
unconference?
One more thing about Link is he basically invented that countdown website thing. You know how there was a period of time during the noughties where every movie will have like a website you go to and it has the countdown, has links to the trailer and gives you a bit of background. And it's like standard now. Every movie has its own website. But he basically invented that.
Yeah, he was doing that back in the day when...
Yeah, but he was doing it for the fans, not for the movie. Eh?
That's right.
Oh.
And then they contacted him at some point.
And said, "Oh, you're good at this. Do this for us."
Yeah.
That's cool. That's really cool. He basically invented a new way of fans interacting with movies.
Yeah, no, that's cool. So yeah, the telecom unconference thing we've all been.
Yeah.
It's
The Spark Unconference.
yeah. Sorry,
That's what it's called now.
Can you explain? I haven't been since it's changed its name. Can you explain?
Let's
Can
not
you
talk about that.
Can you explain what an unconference is, there, Karl?
Ooh, okay.
Since you're an organizer now.
I'm on the committee. Okay, so an unconference. So imagine your normal corporate conference you go to with yucky agendas and keynotes, and just remove all that. Remove all the crap of corporate life, and just imagine getting like 100 of the coolest people you know in different areas in technology, all passionate about something. Put them in a
That's right.
room. Oh yeah. Put them in a room, and then get them to come up with what you talk about. And we break it up into these...
Sessions.
Yeah, what we call sessions. So the only piece of organization is you got these post-it notes and a wall and some pens. Put up the sessions, and everyone chooses which one they go to. So you come up with the content, and people attend that who want to know more about it.
Yeah. Yeah,
And that's the whole weekend.
And it's pushed forward a lot. If you're in a thing and you're not enjoying it, get out and go to the next session. Walk out in the middle of the session, doesn't matter. Nobody's going to judge you. So it's a lot of fun because you get out of it what you want. But I think the key thing because I was on the organising committee a while back, is who you get along. It's all about having the coolest people.
Yeah, that's true.
And the general guideline that we used to have when it was telecom, so I'll call it telecom, was we'd have 1/3 telecom technical people, 1/3 telecom non-technical people, and 1/3 non-telecom people.
100% cool people.
That's where I fit in. I'm non-telecom.
Yeah, I dragged Sam up there. I dragged Karl up there, actually.
That's pretty good. The only thing is I feel stink sometimes by not being able to go to all the sessions, because sometimes there's awesome sessions on at the same time, and afterwards people are like buzzing out about something that happened. And the thing that gets me, I think last year, and I'm going to have to think about it if I go another time, is sometimes the description that they put on the whiteboard is a little bit deceptive.
Oh, yeah.
So they'll have something real generic, doesn't sound that good, and then afterwards these people come out and they're like, oh my god, the conversation went from this to this to this, and oh my god, mind blown.
Yeah, yeah. And you know, why don't they record all those things? You'd think they should hire some sort of technology.
part of the
company.
magic, though.
That's part of the magic, because
Yeah,
as soon
true.
as you start getting into that, you're getting a bit more corporate, and then they'll want to stream it, put it online.
Yeah,
and
and
it's
you
not
can't.
as...
And people will stop and think about what they say because it's a very open environment.
Well, a lot of the stuff people say there can't be repeated anywhere else.
Yeah, that's true.
Was it
Friend DA.
Yeah, friend DA.
Yeah, it's like a non-disclosure amongst
It's
friends.
like Fight Club rules, but more geeky, I guess.
We should do Fight Club there next time.
Sold. We got
Yeah.
that.
Excellent.
Yeah, as opposed to what was it that you guys did that I missed out of? The jumping over a cactus and throwing a
whoa,
dart.
whoa,
No, steeple dart.
Steeple dart. I can neither confirm or deny steeple dart actually
Existed.
happened.
I've seen photos or videos. I'm sure I have
Yeah,
somewhere.
they're not on my phone at all.
Doctored.
Photoshopped everything.
All right. So we've made our listeners jealous about, if you ever get a chance, if you're listening to this podcast and you ever get a chance, you get invited to go to an unconference.
Don't question it, just go.
Yeah, just go. I have invited so many people. You have no idea the number of people that I've invited that would have been good there. Like I've invited Darius 3 times, Annette 2 or 3 times.
Just calling people out, it's awesome.
Yeah, and they just
a few people.
They just never turned up. And I mention these names for a reason because Karl knows these people. They would have done well there, right? They would have loved
anyone
it.
will do well, to be honest. But if we invite you, it's because we think you have a bit of X factor that could bring something to the conference.
Definitely.
So there is a bit of a, I wouldn't say screening process, but you got to be passionate.
There is a total screening process.
Listen to this guy.
He's no longer in the fold. Don't listen to him.
What you call
I'm going to do one more shout out for the unconference. Just if we got all these smart, passionate people into technology, just imagine how much fun it is to have a few drinks with them after the sessions as well.
Man,
it's part of it.
The socializing afterwards was huge.
It's very good.
All right, we should do that for New Year's. We should have a New Year's unconference for geeky people.
Okay.
Maybe not.
363 days away or whatever.
Yeah. Sweet. Add that to everything else that we're trying to sort out.
Yes, okay. All right. I'll stop with the ideas now. Okay, so I don't know. That's pretty much us for
That's pretty much us. We
opening.
haven't covered anything that we wanted to. We spoke a lot.
Oh, no, we used all my notes.
About
I
everything
covered
else.
everything on my notes.
Oh, that's good.
You guys got notes?
He's got a piece of paper which he says is notes. That's a first, though.
No, I did that on episode 2 as well.
Oh.
This is episode 14, isn't it?
Yes.
Well, there you go. So it's not unprecedented.
Aren't you meant to end one of these, like, first of the new year kind of podcast with some sort of resolution or something?
No, we're going to do that in the next podcast.
We're going to do a resolutions podcast. We'll bring you back for that one.
Yep.
And we'll do a resolutions podcast on the next one.
So I think that'll be us for now, just because of time-wise.
Yep. So, obviously, come along to the chrisandsampodcast.com. Check out the show notes. There'll be links to probably nothing this time. There'll be links to the photos, the Star Wars photos that you just shared and stuff like that. Cool. But if you've got any topics you want us to cover in 2015, make sure you can Twitter us. Tweet us on at the Chris and Sam Pod, or you can go to facebook.com/ the Chris and Sam podcast.
Check us out there, share us around, and that'd be great.
Share us around. Yeah, do it. All right. See you next time.
See ya.
See you guys.
Hope you enjoyed the show. Make sure to subscribe and we'll catch you next week. Don't forget to tell your friend.